delayed. Oh, there we go.
Got it.
So, all right. Got it. All righty. Islam. Pazzi Moor, or peace and love, right? To all the beings out there, I am, brother Shanalim El, soy hermano, Shanalim El, and you already know that all is well. And man, this is like my favorite part of the 4 days of our presentations. Bro. I mean, it's like I got that Joe Biden memory, right, bro? I can't remember. Could you assist me? What was that appellation, that nickname, bro? I can't remember. I can't remember. Right? And I am here with my bro, and
he's a greeting to y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey, here in Morocco at Northwest of Mexico. How are you? Welcome, guys, to our Intuition Monday for the Aquarian full moon. And I yield to our Brother Shanalim El Islam.
Yes. Welcome once again to another Intuition Monday, another moon day. So happy moon day, happy Monday to ye all. And before we get started, make sure that ye joins our Mercury Moon workshop that we're doing August 12th. 250 units in lieu of lawful money via CashApp. So make sure that if one's wanting to learn astrology or further one's astrology, make sure that you go to sevenhillstar.com, or you direct message DM either I or Brother Hassan to make sure that you get a part of that. Because you definitely don't want to miss out. One can become a lifetime member of the universally professional astrological community. Or, Tupac, if they want like to shorten it, but make sure you join that. That you got a chart that's coming, you get a study poster, and everyone that joins will get a free Mental Magician 1.0 report by myself. So I mean, it's a win-win situation. You're getting a free report, you're getting to be a part of our astrological community. And if you don't know who Seven Hill Star is, you make sure you go to that YouTube, Seven Hill Star Rights Reserved, and see over, think about 371 videos. So yeah, everyone goes and checks that out. We are not your average or ordinary astrologers that one might be used to. We actually are true and sincere, and we're bringing what a lot of beings haven't brought or looked at in the way that we do. And that's not to down anybody or put ourselves up. It's to be clear to ourselves and make clear to the people what we do. So when one is really ready to up their studies and their knowledge, make sure to come get that reading from Seven Hill Star, get the Mental Magician report by I, get your Mirror by Brother Hassan, or any of the brothers from the Seven Hill Star Astrology Firm. We are national and internationally certified. So we are bringing that to assist the people, right? We're only doing 250. We could charge a lot more. It would be August 12th, Saturday and Sunday, 4 hours apiece. So we're really able to grasp the essentials and the necessary things that they need to be able to look at different aspects and really understand what the moon and what Mercury does, so they can know themselves first and foremost, and then know others. All right. And also make sure, you go to sevenhillstar.com, cast your chart, check out the website. Make sure you definitely check out copper crystal canvases for those that are into the jewelry. Make sure you get that too. So shout out to the bro for bringing it up. So copper crystal canvases. For those that do gardening, you got an incense holder right there. She has with the rose quartz crystal right there. That's beautiful. With the amethyst. And go down to that gardening stick, because I know a lot of folks are gardening out there.
For the electric culture, this is one electric culture trellis. And I'm telling you, she's got some new pieces coming, bro. I'm telling you, these are just like the introductory ones. Like, you're gonna wish you had the first editions, like when comic books first came out. I'm trying to tell you. You're gonna wish you had the first editions, because these next ones that come out, I mean, they're gonna be super fresh too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man, I had no idea when I was like, yeah, just post it on Seven Hill Star, and now the new pieces that I'm seeing, I'm like, yo, this sister is magnificently talented. Like, I'm like, whoa.
Oh, whoa, like that song. Whoa.
Yeah, Black Rob, right? Yeah, it's like, man, like, you know, I'm glad that you know, Seven Hill Star could be a part of it, which makes the sister officially Seven Hill Star also, with bringing this, you know what I mean? And so it's like, you know, you got Seven Hill Star, which is the brothers, and you know, I mean, originally, as you know, Seven Hill Star Astrology Firm and Copper Crystal Canvases. That's what you see. That's Seven Hill Star, all right. Whereas now, just outside of that, but along with Seven Hill Star, is Tupac, right? The universally professional astrology community, right? It's just like the immediate so-called, if you looked at it, it's like the immediate governing energies is Seven Hill Star Astrology Firm and Copper Crystal Canvases, right? So it's just, man, like this one right here, like you said, the plant state for the electric culture. You know what I'm saying? Right? It's the beauty of what it actually does. And I found out, like, wow, this helps with pest control and helps to bring about like you know, making the plants, you know, grow better because of the electricity that's being harnessed by having these plant stakes. I was like, interesting.
Yeah, so make sure y'all you know, definitely check out the website. We got the astrology, we got Reiki, we got CMOS, we got crystals. We have a lot of things to offer. So yeah, make sure you share it with your loved ones, share it with your friends. As we are at Seven Hill Star, your astrologer's favorite astrologer, or the most known unknown, as our beloved exalted Cyclops Corey Bay has said before. So you know, you can go check out the About Us page, and you know, you can see all the brothers. You can see Copper Crystal Canvases, and there's links to our Instagrams so that one can reach out to us. So don't be shy, right? Don't let the fezzes, you know, all in our straightforwardness and how we speak, you know, shy you away. That should want to bring you in to get the truth, and not someone that is gonna finesse you, as they would like to say, for your finance, for your energy. And you know that you're not really getting the things that ye needs to get in order to know thyself and, you know, be successful and help others and uplift fallen humanity. So make sure, right? You come here and check that out, brother Corey CMOS, man. Is it's like when Goku, you know, or when brother Sign Camera used to mess up and you know it go ultra instinct. I mean, it's
Yes.
make sure that ye gets that, you know, and this is raw handcrafted. It's not no cinnamon applesauce or anything added. It's just straight raw to the point. So make sure, you know, one gets that, and you know, we have a lot of things to offer. So you know, don't miss out by, you know, not checking out or, you know, being biased, whatever. So yeah, sevenhillstar.com. So we're about to get started. For those that, you know, haven't seen Intuition Monday, we take one chart and we do global delineations. So we take one chart, one pod, 12 slices. This strong, what some will be calling this week, I'll be doing 1 through 3. And actually, you know, I think I'm gonna switch that up next cycle. Whenever I gotta do 1 through 3, I'll do like 8, 9, and 10, and then you can do like another one, so I don't have to do the 7th house.
Yeah, you're hilarious, bro.
Type energy. I'll be kicking this off 1 through 3, 7 through 9. Brother Hassan will be doing 4 through 6, and closing this out with houses 10 through 9. So without further ado, let me. Oh, bro, can you alley?
Oh yeah. I got 4, 5, 6, and 10, 11, and 12, right? So yeah, let me make sure you have that. No, let me make sure it's 2 ways actually. So Forgive me. Boom. That's one means of accessing it. And the next one is there. All right, bro. You got full control, bro.
All righty. So where we at? Boom. There we go. All right. Let's come to Keynote and then hit play. Let's see how that looks good there. You know, peace and love to everybody in the TikTok world in there.
Indeed, Islam. And those that are on, it's 10 people that's joined us here so far, 10 viewing here on YouTube. Brother Tyro Basis, peace and love, everyone. Brother Derek Blash Basis, Islam, my brothers, Islam to you both. Brother Tyro Basis says, I was just catching up on yesterday's class. Indeed, Brother Tyro. Brother Seven, Judah Bilal Basis, peace and love. Mother Carmisha Bay says, Islam, right? She puts her peace and love up. And Mother Janelle Blash L says, Islam, family, with love, right? And yield the floor to you, Brother Sean. Islam.
Islam. All right, so we're starting out this Aquarius full moon in the Scorpio zone. So this is occurring August 1st. So make sure you also check us out. We'll be on House of Reawakening Minds of Dr. G August 1st. So check that out as well. You know, occurring only Tuesday. Right?
Yeah, next Tuesday. Yep. Office hours with Dr. G. Absolutely.
And we are near Redondo, Portugal, or what's now called Portugal. Let me make that correction there. And we have this full moon occurring in the 1st and the 7th houses. As we see, Luna is there at 9 degrees Aquarius in the 1st, right? And Sol is in the 7th house. And today I took the time to actually kind of put that pen game down. So for this full moon for the Scorpio zone, beings could be looking to really just release any and all creative partnerships, any home hopes and wishes, and the appearance of expression of one's intellect and consciousness that is out of alignment with one's mental and heart space, letting go of those things, and also mentally stimulating oneself by realizing the executive presidential status of one's being. Some would also call that the sovereign within oneself. So, you know, becoming secure, or being number 4 of the Emperor card as well, for those that are into tarot. And there could also be, or seem to be, a restriction to one's finances. And that is just the opportunity to surrender to the things that one loves, that brings a sense of responsibility to their foundation. And with that, I will yield the floor. Moving on next to, we move into the Libra zone. We in the Libra zone. Hey! And we are near Rabore, what is now called Bolivia, right? So we know that this full moon moving along is occurring in now the 2nd and the 8th houses. So with this full moon here for the Libra zone, this full moon would help to release money blocks by means of creatively expressing oneself and investing in the arts for children, releasing thoughts, ideas, and awareness pertaining to the social awareness and the values of one's family and also their little ones. And finally, just learning how to handle one's material resources and doing record requests for those that are in trustee positions. And if you don't know what a record request is, that's why you show up to the Jurisprudence Gym and, you know, get to learn these concepts to correct oneself, or get the AstroLiteracy correction with either I or Brother assigned to fix those mindsets pertaining to law and one's standing in law. And just to know that a lot of things that one has been conditioned, you know, to learn or go by really doesn't apply to one, as long as one is not harming or stealing from anyone, right? So, yeah. So with that, and you know, Sagittarius is on the rise. Where's Jupiter? Jupiter's in the 5th, expanding the creativity, the children, the foundation. So be open to expanding oneself and not doing things to stricken oneself. And with that, I will yield the floor. Wow, hit it with the confetti, right? So now I'm moving along to you know, the East Coast, the Virgo zone, and we are near Crockery, Michigan. All right, and we know that this is occurring in the 3rd and 9th houses. Luna's in the third, Sol is in the ninth. And we've got Scorpio on the rise, 10 degrees, 1 minute, right? So for this full moon is bringing an opportunity to release emotional baggage in order to manifest one's emotional hopes. Communicating and embracing one's inner child by creating art or music, or possibly even just, maybe going to do some things that one loved to do as a child, whether just going outside, ride your bike, or going swinging on the swing set, writing poetry or puzzles, whatever connects one to their inner child. Make sure that one is aware and does that, right? Someone's father also could be expressing some higher learning, wisdom and knowledge. And finally, beings could be feeling driven to learn. Man, I need to work on my handwriting. Okay, yeah. Feeling driven to learn dance or just shine one's light on the stage. And could be pertaining to acting, choreography, for those that are in band. But even if those are, via the internet, anything can be your stage at any moment. So just opening up to that energy. And with that, I will yield the floor to my bro, Islam.
Islam. Alrighty, so we're going for me for 4, 5, and 6. Houses 4, 5, and 6. Starting out in the Leo zone here. Alrighty, we see that this full moon will be taking place, as always, for each testimony that we give. It's happening with Sun in Leo. Sun's feeling very home, right? In Leo, while the moon, 180 degrees in aspect to the sun, is there in Aquarius. Both are partile. In this partile reflection, also termed opposition. However, at 9 degrees, 15 minutes. And with it happening here in the fourth house, right, Saturn in the fifth is bringing the energy for the moon to express itself and how it's reflecting the light of the sun there during this full moon. So with the accidental dignity of the moon in the fourth house, it's just showing a means to really secure oneself in the knowledge that's being poured out to you. While the sun being under the moon's dispositorship, which is under Saturn's dispositorship, right? As far as, Saturn is like, hey, you're being a host in not only a sign that I rule, but also in a house that I am dispositing for, or a sign that I host, while also, there's a house that I'm hosting for also. So the moon's like, hey, thank you, Saturn. And then, the moon can do what it does for the sun there in the 10th house. And what that energy is overall just speaking to is a means to really bring forth a very, creative way, and a way to really express yourself amongst your peers. So when expressing yourself amongst your peers, make sure you are very secure in the information that you are caring to share with them, so that people can see that you are allowing yourself to express yourself in a creative yet disciplined fashion. And with that, I yield. Oh, one last thing, right? I see what you got there for the ascendant and a sensitive degree of being the cusp of the 16th lunar mansion. Venus ruling over these activities and expressing yourself in a disciplined fashion. Venus, of course, is there in this Placidus 11th house here, while, of course, it's definitely the whole sign 11th also, so to speak. So what you can be able to do is share the balance amongst the group. And with that, I yield the floor. Now we're here, of course, in the Cancer zone, and we have Luna in the 5th house, while Sun is there in the 11th, right? Supposedly accidental debilitation for, for the Sun. Moon in the 5th, however, still, as they're always going to be in Leo and Aquarius. However, now we're looking at Saturn, bringing the delay in your daily routine, especially when it comes to children, right? And other people's children. So, if you run a daycare, for those of you that are near the Cancer zone within, Nutay or Nutai, French Polynesia, or Nutae, right? French Polynesia. When it comes to that daycare, the way that everything will be taken care of is if, why don't you just give a communication? If there's an emergency and people are going to have to, maybe keep their children with them, make sure that you communicate that to the children's mothers and fathers, so that they won't be blindsided by the fact that they may have to call out of work right? So to speak. So with that being said, just make sure you're being well in your thoughts to just inform people ahead of time pertaining to the delay in the daily routine of you maybe caring for their children, or give them notice that there's going to be someone substituting while you're handling other endeavors, and make sure that they feel that, that they trust that their children are going to be taken care of. I mean, I know myself personally, I am not for the daycare. However, I know that it happens out there. So even if someone is a loved one of yours while you are venturing to somewhere else, there may be some form of delay, or maybe someone else within the family will have to look after your little one while you can handle something for a few hours. And just trust that the reports are safe, or make it so that, there's a way for you to monitor it without any delay. And with that, I yield the floor. Next, we're moving on to the Gemini zone, and Luna will be in the 6th house while Sun is in the 12th. So it's right after sunrise for this portion in the Gemini zone that this will be taking place, right after moon set, however, during sunrise. Leo's on the ascendant, right? Even though the Sun is in the 12th, Placidus, however, we all looked at Leo as the whole sign first, and all of Aquarius is the whole sign 7th. What we'll actually see is that even though Saturn is in the Placidus 7th, but from the whole sign 8th, Saturn is really just bringing the energies of being able to relate some shared energies, so that, the people will be able to competently, reflect, a means for them to, possibly share some educationes, so to speak, pertaining to sex. All right. And just kind of seeing this whole relating energy and relationship energy. So maybe there's a conversation that's going to pop up during that day where you're going to have to speak to someone pertaining to the area of sex, so to speak. So for those of you that are near the Natal Island, Tuvalu, right? There may be some type of so-called sex education that's going to happen. Maybe you're a teacher and you have to share something so that, people will comprehend, or the youth will comprehend all the factors that take place pertaining to that. However, we look at it in the 12th and 6th house fashion. We are dealing with health. So this may deal with someone who's given a health class, and the Sun ruling over the ascendant there is, we've got to find a way to be very creative and jovial, and maybe even, comedic, so to speak, in bringing forth some informational literature that pertains to sexual education for the health and benefit of the youth. All right. And with that, I yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I am well pleased, Brother Sean Amin El Islam.
Islam, back on me. All right. All right. So we're at the Taurus zone, and we are near Cabiane. I think that's like it should be like not French Polynesia. French Polynesia, I think. All right. It's occurring August 2nd, 2023 on the Wednesday. And we are now having Sol in the 1st house and Luna in the 7th. All right. Look at the ascendant. Ascendant's a degree of duty. So with this full moon, beings could be looking to take care of themselves by getting some luxury treatment, or being taken care of by somebody. So maybe someone's gonna get a treatment, maybe like a spa, nail treatment, or like a massage, however one takes care of themselves, and somehow some higher up or like a manager comps that for someone for some reason. They're just feeling good for that day. Getting good news pertaining to fertility with their partner. So maybe someone's also had some fertility issues, or they've been looking to bear a child. So they're receiving good news that is clear and a green light and a go. And finally, just releasing things that don't bring joy and a healthy attitude to oneself. So this is an opportunity to align the intuition with the loving purpose, getting the hate out of one's heart, and being loving to oneself, which only reflects that to the outer world with that energy. So for being in the Taurus zone, show some love to yourself and then show love to others. And with that, I will yield the floor
Shout out to Mother Energy, Divine L. She's in the chat. And Mary Magnashi, she says, peace and love to all. So Islam to you, Mother Energy, and to Mary, Islam.
Islam. All right. So we are now in the Aries zone. When we are near Manigrita, what's now called Australia. Right. So we have Luna and Sol reflecting, as we know. Luna's in the 8th, 9 degrees Aquarius, 15 minutes. And Sol's at 9 degrees, 15 minutes, Leo. All right. So this is, for this full moon, buying new gadgets or additions for the home for some. Or beings could be giving away some things that they no longer use. So embracing that charity energy. A new sense of creativity and love for what one does brings healing to any and all joint venture collaborations, valuing what one offers and bringing this mindset of releasing that what isn't valuable, what isn't bringing foundation to oneself. Strong communications occur intuitively as the mind and subconscious are at one, which enables healthy community communications pertaining to health and service. So for the beings near the Aries zone, make sure beings are just doing the communication, having healthy communication. We know that, toxicity, toxic is the opposite of that, but one can really, transmute that lower self, that toxic energy by being love first and foremost, and then they'll be able to embrace truth. So make sure you guys are sharing the love. And with that, I will yield the floor to my final testimony. And okay, that was good. So we're now in the Pisces zone, and we're near Bunua, Laos, right? So Luna is in the 9th, the sun's joy. And it was just all right there, 3rd. Luna's joy. Okay, well, let's finish this out. For the Pisces zone. So this full moon for beings near Laos and those areas is bringing light to the heart and mind. What hopes does one have for their home life? We can answer that question. Make sure one writes that down too, right? Releasing and removing oneself from love affairs that are bringing drama and the early education that hindered one's growth. Mental exploration brings presidential change and gives the opportunity for one to mentally get themselves together. Bringing humanitarian emotional security by being of service to their home first, and then being of service to the homes that are away from the home. So guys, from the Pisces zone, take care of the home first, right? As Prophet Noble Jarlee said, teach these lessons, to the children, and so that to the mothers and fathers, so that one can get their house in order. So that now when that house is in order and one sees beings that are, having issues with their home life, they're able to share those lessons that they were given and, and understood, and give that to someone else that could really benefit from those lessons they might not be aware of, that they're not really sure on what to do. So be love and share the love and wisdom. And with that, oh yeah, wow. And be fortunate. Realize how fortunate one is, regardless of whatever situation or whatever one doesn't get with a school, or they wanting to, picture and put themselves 5 years from now, and just be fortunate and grateful for where ye is at in this current degree stage situation. And with that, I will yield the floor to my bro.
Islam.
Going in Aquarian zone. Going in Aquarian zone.
Yes, hilarious. Islam, bro. So here we are now, actually, as bro says, in the Aquarius zone, right? And what we have here is Luna now in the 10th, Sol in the 4th, right? And now when it comes to the people and how they present themselves to beings overall, there's a means for, shared spirituality to be expressed, which will reflect that the people actually feel secure in in making sure that their standing amongst their peers are not just accepted. It's not a matter of acceptance as much as it is a matter of really being comfortable around one another, and knowing that you're not in a space where people are not really favoring who you are within the group. However, Mars, of course, in the fifth house is ruling the ascendant, right? While it's in Virgo, it's in the Placidus fifth, but that will be the whole sign sixth house. And the ascendant is clearly at the prophet of a new order degree. 29 degrees Aries is prophet of a new order, all right? So to actually see that, you may have some unvelations about, exercise and health that will drive you to make sure that you are picking a community that, is very accepting of the fact that you're looking to further discipline yourself, and they will have things that they will share with you that you'll be able to reflect upon in a very secure fashion, as far as sharing stories, where they started from before they got to a point where they were comfortable with exercising not only their body, but the proper thinking for their own nutrition, so to speak, making better decisions for their quote unquote food choices, right? So with that being said, I yield the floor. We're going to move on to the Capricorn zone now. And of course, the moon will be in the 11th and the sun will be in the 5th. Sun having its accidental dignity in the 5th, of course. Wow. In Leo is pretty well dignified sun that we have here. So I think this is a means for, mothers to, pour out the information and teach something that will be very transformative to not only your children, but their friends. 11th house is other people's children also, as 5th house is for children. Jupiter, of course, in Taurus in the Placidus 6th house here, while absolutely in the whole sign 3rd, will be able to, show that you can communicate some values or communicate something that's very valuable in the area of making sure people can have closure, alrighty, about whatever topic it is that you're about to speak to them, speak to them about, as well as having a means to isolate some key things to really just bring the focus on something that, really needs to be spoken about. Mothers to children, alrighty, so to speak. Very interestingly, as I, was looking at this, I see that, of course, Luna is in mutual reception for most of this with Mercury, who is just a chart topper here, being in, Mercury, of course, being in the sign that it hosts, as well as that it's exalted in, while in mutual reception by triplicity with the moon, while also in its own terms, giving it a plus 14. However, the moon sharing that plus 3 by triplicity, of course, with Mercury just kind of speaks more to the energy of making sure something is well communicated. And that's just why I wanted to point that out also, as far as the central dignities are concerned. So with that being said, I yield the floor. We're going to move on and complete and close on out with the Jupiterian ruled zone called the Sagittarius zone here. All right. Of course, this is doing, it's after sunset and Luna rise, right? Moonrise, sunset. Just to really look at, how Saturn is, of course, in the first house, ruling the first. Even though Saturn is clearly in the whole sign second house, I think there will be a means for ones to really find the essential values and expressing astrological know-how, astrological information. And that astrological information, of course, can be shared to the people. And there's going to be some transformations that are going to be shared. This may even speak to, shameless plug, of Seven Hill Star being later on this evening, so to speak. And even, during, as far as East Coast is concerned, later on in the evening for East Coast, on office hours with Dr. G. And what I trust the people internationally, whoever tune in internationally, will be able to get what it is that they need as far as the information to better guide themselves and their little ones with the astrological information. Because what I think you guys want to see the most, those of you that attend next Tuesday, office hours with Dr. G, and then on the 12th and 13th August 2023, right? You will actually see how the astrology can be simply and practically utilized in your life so that you can guide yourself. I mean, 7 Heel Star has the means of mapping out a whole year for you, alrighty, in advance, so that you can actually see what you need to do according to certain themes that are in your life, alrighty. So that's kind of what I think you guys all need to, really see and love on yourself and take advantage of for the dimensions to manifest, termed the future. And with that, I yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, as we came off of that one pertaining to, shining a light on health, as well as, knocking out the inner enemy, right? The inner enemy, right? The inner enemy that could be ourselves and our subconscious mind, and really do what we can do to mitigate being against ourselves by having the astrological know-how and being ahead of ourselves so that we can get out of our own ways, right? Bro, I yield the floor to you. Islam.
Yeah, I think beings that attend the Moon Mercury workshop are really going to see, because folks are like, oh, I'm so in my mind, or I don't feel this and feel that, and we'll be able to show not only how those two correlate, but how to navigate with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so beings won't always, have to be in their head, or they'll be able to become aware of why in their head, why are they in their head, and how can they communicate the things they need to communicate. And I think I put like one of the captions, it's like, does one, want how to communicate, or do they feel like they're never heard, or do they feel like they always seem to think of things after, what they wanted to say. So it's these various things that we can, assist one with. And yeah, speaking into, looking, forecasting ahead, we can, assist whoever with seeing their whole cycle a whole year ahead. So there's like, there'll still be, I guess, surprises or something, but we can give you a definite thing of what to look for, and how to navigate that, and how to master that, and not just be ruled or just going with, the cycles or whatever's happening, so that one can be, ready and prepared. So make sure that one shares that with their loved ones, their friends, all their astrology buddies, and anyone that one know that could really assist from it. Really, at the end of the day, everybody benefits from astrology, true astrology, not the whole toxic green flag, red flag bullshit and all that other stuff. Like, folks trying to make, finance, commercial, and jokes of things that's really ancient, which it's cool, to be able to laugh, but at the end of the day, this astrology is serious, and beings need to be uplifted from their mental slavery, their fear, and their ignorance, and also their hatred. So saying, biased things about different signs is only adding fuel to the fire. So, on that note, beings, make sure, check us out. We're live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. 2 days, 2 degrees are for astrology, 2 degrees or days for civics. We're going through our Holy Quran, Holy Koran, whatever one calls it, countdown, devotional countdown on Sundays, so that those can, read the Holy Quran, divinely prepared by enough Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Read that with us as we go along with it, as we go along through it. Study it for yourself so that you can see what we see, and you can see what you can see, and really be able to get these lessons that, it's not gate kept, but beings really don't talk about it. As I think it's either in the first or second letter to be read. They want to take what the prophet did and use it for themselves. So, so
which is not that bad, but it is bad when because like we know, like you and I, Brother Corey, Brother Terrell, because of recently what we've been, going over. We know to not be insecure about our will. Most beings, and this is no disrespect, however, most beings, they have not been exposed to certain things we have been exposed to as far as higher knowledge material. that some people can only get by being a part of some Masonic lodge or something, or some kind of order. And we've been able to be graced with certain documentation from brothers that have shared things with us. And we, of course, are not, nor have ever been, or ever will be a part of some order in that fashion, right? Other than the order that we set for ourselves via Seven Heel Star, right? However, we know not to be insecure about our will and utilizing our will, and knowing wholeheartedly, to look forward to whatever it is we are to manifest pertaining to our will. So, we are taking these lessons and, saving ourselves, as it said in the oral statements and prophecies of Prophet Abdrali, brought you everything it takes to save a nation, and take it and save yourself. So we have, the Quran and the 101s, right? Is right there over my left shoulder here, right? We have the Quran and the 101, right? And 102s also, and many other documents that are behind me. However, eventually what we actually realize, there's a oneness that's supposed to be expressed and utilized properly. However, most people have not, or 9 times out of 10, they never come across the information and knowledge that we would love to freely give and share. It's just that we know that people would have to have a certain comprehension, that you would have to let go of that outside yourself energy worship. If you're still on some God and Allah and having to deal with, what if you do this against the Quran? That's shirk. It's like, if you're still there, I mean, because we know, right? And you know what makes it tough? Because then people will try to assert themselves, oh, what, you think you better because you got some books from some elders that don't make you better. That we're not saying that either. However, what we are absolutely saying is we're in a much better position than those that are stuck in dogma belief system and really think that they need to express themselves according to the insecurity rehabilitation or the security rehabilitation institutions termed Christianity, Islam, Buddhism. These are just means that provides tools for you to get to what we're even talking about right now, you being one who is mastering your own will. And that's why I think when Prophet Noble Ali said, the half hasn't been told, if I told you everything, you'll fall back to sleep. Because you would have beings out here who are unprepared spiritually. They have done no sun gazing, no breathing exercises, no putting their bare feet on the earth, not ridding themselves of the bullshit skidorf at all. And then they want to go out here being whatever crayon color titles they call themselves, but they know magic and they're communicating with the ancestors and will give you ancestral readings. And me and my bros will be looking at the books we're looking at, and then look at these people online and we'll be like, yeah, what? Like, it's
Oh, really?
And it's tough because it's like, man, if we say something, some of these beings are going to be pissed off, right? They're going to be mad, right? Or some are going to be thankful. So now it's a matter of just watching, like, okay, well, let's see who's really ready to grow. You know what I'm saying? Because now I see why when certain books were given to me and Brother Hannibal was like, make a copy for yourself, but make no copies for anyone else until he transitions. And it has to be somebody that I deem worthy enough to be able to have these. And, that's where, like you were saying, it's not about gatekeeping. It's really not. What we realize is some of this stuff, people will take this and they will lose their mind. Because it's so simple, yet so profound that people would probably spontaneously combust in the spirit because now they're trying to figure out how to acclimate this higher knowledge. You know what I mean? Does that make sense, bro?
Yeah, it just when you were saying that, what popped in my mind was that Dave Chappelle, Clayton Bigsby, when the mask came off and all their heads started busting and popping open. That's what it was like, because it's the beings want to like be complex and all these different things. And I've got a short song. I can't remember how it went. How did it go? It's like, I can see clearly now. The looking outside, see outside of me is gone.
Yeah.
So it's simple, and some beings aren't ready for it. So after studying, it's like we see why things are broken into various layers and different topics, because beings aren't just ready for, they're not ready just for that concept. So things have to be splitting up, right? It's like a puzzle. Beings might not be ready to see the whole puzzle. That's why they have to deal with piece by piece and put it together. But for those who are ready to grow, they'll be ready to grow, and we'll continue to grow as we do. We're just and this, to be our nature and be our will.
Islam. That's why I think even there, like, let's say there are some beings out there with these higher books that we speak about, right? In all honesty, I really think that's why some of them have lost their minds, especially on the internet, because they may have this information. However, they're not embodying it. They're not rolling it over in their mind, because we already know on level 1, when you come into information, being the neophyte, you believe and pray. Level 2 is a scholar who studies and has faith, right? And then you have those of us that are level 3s, right? That some will call level 3 being the master. The master contemplates and bring things to fruition. And that's what I encourage beings to do, since I have certain books that cannot be freely shared like that. However, the instruction is to teach from them. It's like, okay, that's what we've been doing on 7. Why do you think those of you that are in the chat here, right, on YouTube, put a 1 in the chat, right? If you think that what 7 Heel Star shares, right? Because there are tons of Moorish Americans all over the internet, tons of them, right? They've got their groups that are rising or falling, right? They got, they want to do consul things, but they're not appointed to be commercial officers by any state, but they want to be consul.
Big cats and pharaohs.
And it's like, oh, look, there goes Hassan again, sounding like an arrogant asshole. Am I really, or am I actually saying something that if you really look to the words that I'm even saying, you're like, oh shit, that's what he was talking, because it's not hidden, right? Put a 1 in the chat if there's, if 7 Heel Star is the only group pertaining to Moors that's bringing a consistency. You can go back and look at all our videos. I know some of you are watching all of our videos back to back to back, because one thing you're probably looking at, you're probably like, let me see if this is legit. And then not only are you seeing that in the videos, then we give you access to the same books we're reading as far as what can be immediately shared. Now, I'm not talking about these higher books of the Holy Corbeth. I'm not talking about those, right? Because I will never put those in the library, honestly, because I get it. I see what time it is. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, what's in those books, though, I can completely teach about. And that's why it makes me be able to see Brother Todd so easily. When Brother Hannibal has lectures online, it's like, oh, I get it. And then when I look at other Moors that supposedly have title, I'd be like, man, they got the title, but don't have the lesson. whoa. And we can see it clearly. So put a 1 in the chat if you think 7 heel star is, you know, we're Moorish American, but we got to be set apart. So are we set apart? Put a 1 in the chat if we're like set apart and consistent. I think Mother Sahar's already put a 1 in there. Brother Dirk put like 7 1s.
Yeah.
Yo, he put like 7 or 8 or 9 1s in there. Yo, Brother Dirk's hilarious. Brother 7 puts a 1. Mother Janelle puts a 1. Because I mean, I know that what we're doing is different. Most people get this information, and I get it. I have on a Sharif's fez. I got a Sharif's badge. I got my MA button. I got my standard. I'm just Brother Hassan, though. These are just markings of my mindset. Where do I stand in my own mind? You don't see me talking about, let's put on some military gear and get stopped on 95 North, or you know, put on a bulletproof vest and be your general counseling guides. And I'm not knocking those people. I just recognize that this was the instruction, and this is what a lot of people are doing that's not the instruction. But I get it. Brother Hassan can sometimes sound like an asshole. Brother Hassan can come off arrogant to people's ears. Brother Hassan can, oh, he thinks he's better than. And it's like, I recognize that a lot of people do things what they do, being Moorish American, because there's a jealousy and an envy that comes out of them from them seeing what the things and the work that I've done in these past 8.5 to 9 years, right? And then I haven't jumped out there to try to do something. I followed the instruction. Here's my brothers. Not all my brothers listen, though. Some of my brothers are hard-headed. Am I wrong about that, Brother Sean?
Nope.
Okay, because correct me if I'm wrong. If I see ahead of time, as I do often, don't I give fair warning? And then people still get themselves in trouble because they made the wrong decisions. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm hoping for correction.
No, it's like, hey, you know, whoop, whoop, whoop. And if one doesn't listen to that and they rather, you know, trust their own thinking without consulting, you know, collectively, then, you know, what's to come is what's to come, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's two pathways, you know, one can, you know, still trust one's own thinking, but still consult with other minds so to not be one way. And if one's only one way, trusting their own thinking, then, you know, we can't infringe upon one's free will. So.
And again, Mother Sahar puts a 1, Brother Derek puts a 1, Brother 7 puts a 1, Mother Janelle puts a 1, Mother Energy puts a 1, Brother Solomon puts a 1. And I mean, I'm pretty sure, yeah, we could have charged people, oh, you want to talk to me for an hour? It's 300 notes. And it took me a while to get to a point where it's like, okay, you want to do a concept correction? Cool. Send me 102 for the hour. Just because I already know I'm going to go above and beyond 102 worth. It's just, how can my energy be respected? Because I'm clearly going to respect what it is you're asking me for. I'm going to make sure we're looking at, well, look at this statute, code, and policy that they're using against you. This is how you do X, Y, and Z, and this is what you would have to do your best to be against it. Well, is it going to work? It's only going to work based on how you go about it. Because what a lot of people do when they get this information, they'll try to, here, I just put this in. That's not just putting it in, just don't work. Sometimes you gotta, not all the time, according to the court rules, set your own hearings. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you can put in documentation. They be like, yeah, man, we don't even want to deal with this. However, when they don't do we don't want to deal with this, know that you're absolutely dealing with organized criminals. We're dealing with organized criminals doing RICO activities. All right. That's just absolutely what it is. Right. So that's why, you know, we're figuring out, like, those of you that are part of lawfulliving.com, right? The jurisprudence gym. And you come and see, like with what I'm saying right now, like a lot of people don't get that they're being treated like United States citizens. Somebody is assuming that you're a 5 USC 301 employee because of some foundling certificate that was put on you called a birth certificate. And then they'll try to use that against you by saying you're an employee, and then they can bring charges against you because to them, you're an employee, when what we are to do is to refute being assumed to be an employee, refute that whatever they're trying to use, because there's no consenting to it. So there's this assumption that's always going on that tries to hold people, you know what I mean, to, you know, being corrected in correctional facilities, when really at the end of the day, it's not just one or two beings that can do something. Everybody needs to get on this information the same way. And that's why I do my best to be like, yo, go here, go there. And then when people are really ready, it's like, all right, look, this is what it is. There really is no negative, positive, or neutral. There really is no black, white, and gray. There really is no, I broke this one bowl up into 3 different pieces, so now I have 3 bowls. That's not true. People have split up these energies and try to, well, I'm just going to use positive. Well, in order for you to actually use that bowl, you know, put your quinoa in it and put your vegetables on top of your quinoa in that bowl can't be in 3 pieces. It has to be a full bowl. It has to be a bowl that's in its oneness, so that you can be able to consume that which you have put in it, so that you can consume what's in it from it. And I'm absolutely telling you and sharing with you, even though man, mind knows not, NAUGHT, which is falsehood, by being told. Falsehood is the manifest of right, right? So when you manifest truth, when you manifest right, it's falsehood. So you got to get your own experience, is what we're actually saying to you. And when you get your own experience and see it for yourself, and it's like, so, oh, well, if there's no positive, no negative, and no, you know, neutral, then I can just go out here and kill motherfuckers. No, you can't, because you're further showing that you're insecure in controlling and mastering yourself. And now you're misusing your will. Taking a life is misuse pertaining to one's will. So there are certain, and again, I'm spitting, Brother Sean, I'm spitting these higher lessons from these higher levels of Holy Court Path right now, am I not?
You over there cooking.
So, and some people, this is what I don't want people to do. Ooh, wow, that brother deep. Stop that.
Please, no, stop it. Stop it.
Stop it. I'm not being deep. I'm giving you absolutely what it is. Right? You know what? Yes, all Brother Derek said, Mother Sahar says 103 times. Brother Derek says, ye all are great examples of the message. Indeed, Brother Derek, Brother Solomon says, the only way to get that experience is through the fire. I mean, indeed, right? And this is what I want to ask real quick. I want to make sure I quote it properly, because the quote that I'm thinking of, I didn't mean to call you, bro. The quote that I'm thinking of is, do as thou wilt. And those people are like, oh, that's Aleister Crowley. That's the devil. See, it's like, ignore who you think said it and recognize what the message is. It's do as thou wilt. Love is the whole of the law. Love under will, which actually ties to a higher lesson that even though there's no such thing as positive on its own, because it's really just a third of the oneness power, you still utilize that 1/3 to propel one to express their will by wholeheartedly knowing that they are expressing their will. But let me get someone real quick on the line and let me see, because they know the quote, and I want to make sure I quote it correctly. My without hesitation, actually, and then we'll yield. Peaceful greetings, beloved mother, Islam. I'm all is well. I want to kind of put you on the spot real quick because I'm quoting something that I know you know, and we're live right now. I'm about to like end the live, but I just quoted something because, you know, I'm looking at those higher books that not only you have given me as far as other books, but Brother Hannibal giving me those higher levels to the Holy Quebec. And we know that one thing is for sure and two things for certain, that do as thou wilt, right? What is that whole quote? It's like love is the whole of the law, love under will. What's the whole quote?
Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.
Say it one more time for him.
Do what thou wilt. Love is the law. Do what thou wilt shall be. No. All right. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.
Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will. Y'all got that? Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will. So don't just look at that like, oh, that's some Aleister Crowley stuff. Aleister Crowley, along with Prophet Noble Drew Ali, are giving Hittian lessons. Let's go ahead.
Through the Spandau Mystery, if you look up the Spandau Mystery, the book, you'll see the prophet on the left, you'll see Hess in the middle, and you'll see Aleister Crowley on the left, on the right, I beg your pardon. You'll see the prophet on the front of the cover. Spandau Mystery, SPANDAU Mystery. All right? And you'll see the prophet on the left-hand side, and then you'll see, I think that's Hess in the middle, and then that's Aleister Crowley. They were doing the initiate, what do you call it, at Hikupta at the same time. The prophet was there in 1904, just as Aleister Crowley was there in 1904, all right? At the same time, and he was going through his initiate lessons as well as Aleister Crowley. But Awas gave it to Aleister Crowley, the Book of the Law, but the prophet, he was foretold that he was going to be there, and just like Awas took him to the pyramid and left him there, and he went back and dictated the book on, this is April 8th, 9th, and 10th, 12 noon, or an hour each day. Excuse me. And he took the prophet to the pyramid, and then he forgot about him. And then when he went back, the prophet that went all through the pyramid came out at the Sphinx, you know, because he was, you know, told to be the one, you know, to be able to do this and without, you know, Awas being there. Excuse me.
Indeed. So in other words, he basically had within himself a ways to navigate out of a dismal crypt, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. While at the same time, Aleister Crowley is getting do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will, which ultimately is all throughout that principle is all throughout the Quran, as I'm reading it in reference to looking at these higher lessons of the Holy Quebec. Right. And then now when I go back and read, you know, the Holy Quran as we share every Sunday now during the devotional countdown, I can't help but to have those higher lessons of the Holy Quebec in my head. Right. All right. That's all. I appreciate you, Mother Delilah. I thank you. I'll call you a little later. We're about to wrap up on this live.
All right, man. Peace and love.
Islam, beloved mother. Peace and love. So, guys, that's what I wanted to share with you. See, because I knew Mother Delilah would know. I knew she would know because she is the one that, you know, when she speaks to us, you know what I mean, and has shared before. And, you know, Mother Delilah say 5 things, and I'll end up like, well, I got 6 through 100 right here from 1 through 5, he said, you know what I mean? And then it makes for when we speak again, it's like the lessons are that we go over. It's just amazing. We have really good study sessions when we do converse. But yeah, that's what it is, guys. Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. And that's a Hittian lesson, right? So that's just what it is. And so yes, these higher books to the Holy Code Beth goes further into the Hittian lessons when you're dealing with force and, you know, Peru, like things you've heard Brother Hannibal mention in the Moorish Magi lessons. Alrighty, that I think there's a playlist by 99 News of those lessons, right? So you won't be disappointed, guys. You go and check those things out, right? Mother Energy says, I am still standing my ground and not giving into the BS. Indeed. Kimberly says, greetings and blessings, right? Love the quote. Yeah, indeed. Indeed, Kim. So, guys, we thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you so much, right? Let me actually do that and bring the live chat back up. Man, let's bring that live chat back up. That's what I was trying to do there, right? So with that being said, any questions, comments, and/or suggestions going once? Questions, comments, and/or suggestions going twizzers. I guess we should do a reminder. Make sure you guys remember we're having a workshop come up on the 12th and 13th August 2023, right? And that workshop is being presented by the Universally Professional Astrology community, right? And it's an astrology workshop called Quick Thinking, right? Quick Thinking, all right? And quick thinking is pertaining to the moon and Mercury in astrology, all right? Let me make sure. I think we were, maybe right here. Let me hit the back button quite a few times, right? And so if you go to click more and click on, you know, TUPAC, right, which is the Universally Professional Astrology community. I know, it spells Tupac, right? But the Tupac workshops, membership and eleemosynary tuition is theirs, letting you know that the eleemosynary tuition above is for attending this workshop and for lifetime membership with the Universally Professional Astrology community, TUPAC, right? And if you prefer to use CashApp, you can. There's our CashApp right there. You can email me. It's like, hey, I sent the CashApp or whatever. You know, you guys know, those of you that know my number, call me. The number is also in our Instagram in the bio. If you want to click the flyer to check out, you can do that also. There, I clicked on the flyer and it will bring up a means for you to check out. And I know 250 units in lieu of lawful money. I know that there are some astrological societies out there that I'm actually a part of that wants 900 units for a lifetime membership. So we're doing this, you know, now that we have a astrological society that, you know, I and the bros, according to the astrology. And it's funny because we looked at the chart that we were discussing this. It's like, bro, look at how this energy is moving. Even down to the chart that we have there. You see it says, where it says 2 files over there on the right, Quick Thinking, Moon and Mercury astrology chart. So there's a chart that we cast actually for that time. And man, whoever participates, when you guys see this chart, this electional chart that we chose, it's like, man, we are really in the zone. We're really surfing a wave and being in harmony with the universe, because we're doing things that when we go and analyze it astrologically, it's like, bros, it's like,
can't even make it.
That's what we were saying to ourselves. Like, what'd you say, bro?
It's like, can't even make it up. You know what I'm saying? And we just being in that flow without even trying.
Yeah, because that's what happens when you're being pure heart, being sincere intent, being love, being honor, and keeping Prophet Noble Drew Ali at the forefront pertaining to your mind, because what's happening is we're being pulled out of things that were just only tools for us to get to a point where we can express ourselves, you know, like those that thoroughly comprehend without doing negative, harmful things to ourselves or beings, that do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will, which is absolutely what Prophet Noble Drew Ali is expressing in all the literature that he has shared. It's just that there are people who are illiterate and stuck in dogma that, you know, had a hard time with it. And there are some descendants of those beings who are still having a hard time with it. However, I trust that I and my brothers are able to share things with you, and, you know, trust that you will come along and be a part of, you know, our Astrological Society, the universally professional astrology community. And, you know, start off with having a lifetime membership. So those of you that will become lifetime members, the next, you know, workshops you will get at a tremendous discount, right? Whereas everyone else who isn't a lifetime member yet, they will still, because I kind of want people to, the reason why I'm going for lifetime membership, well, we are going for lifetime membership off the break, is because commit to yourselves, guys. You know what I mean? Commit to wanting your lives better. That's it. That's all. You know, some people do yearly membership. Some, you know, astrological societies that do 3 years, and then the third choice is lifetime. You know, I'm a lifetime kind of guy, right? Because I see me and my bros more and more every day. It's like, yo, let's look at this astrology this way. Like, when you see what we do next Tuesday on House of Reawakening Minds with Dr. G, right? Because we're not going to share any of her astrology information. However, you guys are going to see with what, you know, can be seen, what is going to be demonstrated and said. And I trust that it gets you guys motivated to go, you know what? I need to see my year in advance also, you know, for my solar return. And it's like, yeah, because it will take the guesswork out of what year to do. And you will stay focused and move forward with those things. Mother Energy says, indeed. Brother Derek Blash Bay says, love and respect, gratitude. Mother Sahara says, peace and love, gratitude, indeed. Yes. And I'd like to thank Mother Delilah and, you know, coming on in an impromptu fashion, as I called her. But the mother's always, you know, when I call, she responds. And if she's busy, she's like, hey, look, I'm busy, let me call you back. But I knew she would know that quote off the top of her head, because, you know, that's where, like I said, I got a lot of higher lessons from her, Brother Taj, Brother Hannibal, and the Sayara Hub, the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, Mother Rashida Bey. So, and that's why you don't see me out here in uniforms, trying to get groups of people and to do things and have to be abducted in, you know, correctional facilities. Like, what I purpose for us to do is to not have to deal with these people and know how to, you know, get the records requested so that we don't have to show up in their court venues that have completely nothing to do with us in the first place. I have never had anything to do with us at all. All right. So with that being said, guys, we love you. I'm going to go and get with my loved ones and definitely want to finish this bit of work that I have to do to prepare for next Tuesday. I just want to make sure I got everything written down and organized, right? For so 9 times out of 10, you'll probably see me and Brother Sean next Tuesday on the office hours with Dr. G, right? For next Tuesday. However, we will also make sure we're thoroughly promoting that which what our other brothers have as far as the astrology and health coaching, so to speak, as wellness coaching, as Brother Corey does that. And Brother Terrell is very, very huge on making sure people are getting the lessons practically. We all are like that. It's just that, you know, Brother Jag is going to be like, hey, look, this book says this. Clock of Destiny book 2 says boom, 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 boom. Clock of Destiny book 1 is boom, 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 boom. Now, if you go and look here, that's how I see Brother Jag. You guys, for those of you that get any lessons or classes or sessions, so to speak, from Brother Terrell Tamari Bay, right? And Brother Corey, like we said, has the CMOS and definitely has the health coaching, wellness coaching, along with, you know, his brother Malik, right? Our other brother Malik. So with that being said, questions, comments, and those suggestions going thrice. Guys, we'd like to thank you all so much for joining us. Brother Sean, anything? Well, I already asked questions, comments, and suggestions, so I guess we did great.
Like I said, get Ye's Mirror Mirror Mental Magician, become part of the workshop. Yeah, like and share with your loved ones, and if y'all don't remember, you know, remind you again, you know, that, you know, Brother Hassan has a special. You know, if one doesn't have the finance, hey, tell everybody about it so that one can get their own, you know, free reading, and same with me. So you know, don't let finance be the issue when you can tell everyone that you know, your socials, family, friends, and all that, and even their friends and families, that they know they'll do that so that one can get their free reading. Easy. You know, so, you know, word of mouth or just sharing. So you know, 5, 6 beings, you know, that one could, you know, share and bring that in, get you a free reading. And I'm pretty sure folks know, well, depending on how they know, you know, 30, 50, hundreds, you know, depending on how many folks they know and, you know, all that. So it's really simple. One, don't have to just look at their personal finances, just referring. So get some referrals in, get yourself a free reading, free Reiki session.
Yeah.
Fashion.
Yeah. So go to sevenhillstar.com, see what it is that we have. We might have to get Brother Sean, because Brother Sean has, even though he's clearly 7 Hill Star, however, like Copper Crystal Canvases is 7 Hill Star, but they have their own page. So for 720 Astral Healing, so you guys can see everything that Brother Sean offers. We'll probably 9 times out of 10 have a page for 720 Astral Healing coming very soon. So you guys will just see it a little more organized, you know what I mean? As far as like, well, hold on, let me look at this. Okay, this is the Reiki sessions, the tarot sessions, things of that nature. Because Brother Sean has a lot to offer, and it works. Like, Brother Sean's a level 4 Reiki master, so he can do things remotely. I've actually witnessed them because I've actually, you know, called upon bro for his services, right? So with that being said, guys, there are no more questions, comments, and or suggestions. This is where I and Brother Sean say, be yourselves and donate. All righty, guys. This is where we say we love you all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. See ye Wednesday. Of course, if you come in tomorrow for Friends in Law Bible study for the Jurisprudence Gym, lawfulliving.com. We'll see you guys in that class, of course, every Tuesday and Thursday, still as we do. All righty. It's where we say to y'all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love.